Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day or night, whatever it is for you. I just got off work about an hour and some change ago, and I was just sitting around thinking about a few things, watching a few podcasts. I was watching Reese Waters and a couple other people, and I was thinking about accountability at first, but then it kind of dawned on me, as in I got an idea, which is interesting if you think about it, because if something dawns on you, the sun is coming up. It's almost like a natural light bulb. Anyways, the point is, I started thinking about acceptance and understanding. And when I started thinking about acceptance and understanding, it almost felt like a choir was going off in my head, like, oh. So I also made another observation today while watching videos. It would seem like there's a faction of humanity. I was listening to a new Botswana president talk. Botswana. And he was telling Royland Martin that he wanted to look into like free trade and certain types of free infrastructure, communication and transportation, you know, electrical systems and grids. And I thought to myself, that's beautiful. He's trying to do stuff for humanity. But then something else popped into my head. But then you have a faction of humanity that's trying to capitalize. They're trying to capitalize on people's labor, work, ideas, concepts, civilization. They want to be elite. You see you see like the movies. I know a famous movie would be I think it's called The Christmas Story with Tiny Tim and Scrooge, where the billionaire's like, what can I do to squeeze this lemon to get every drop? And that's basically a metaphor or an analogy describing how basically capitalists try to do everything they can to make extra money. So I was thinking about it. I haven't been too deep into politics lately, but I think in the South they still make 7.25 or 8.25 or something like that. I think that's minimum wage. And then if you pay attention to something that I noticed recently, I guess if you're a criminal or if you're in the penal system, you have a felony or something or a criminal, first of all, the state can institute certain things, and sometimes rightfully so, like simple stuff like AA, or they can become your power attorney or all types of stuff. So then outside of that, you then have a felony, or when you go even higher, it's basically when it's a higher crime. Now, when you look into this, basically, I- basically, I looked into it, and certain restaurants are hiring criminals. You wouldn't even realize it that a lot of those employees are criminals. They're they have something called work release, and so these people aren't getting paid regular wages. They're getting paid criminal wages. It's like when you see them smashing rocks and making license plates and stuff. So I was just thinking about certain things, and I mean, I see a lot of people online talking sometimes, and they're like, "Why is nobody standing up and coming together and blah blah blah?" The thing about being an elite, whenever I say elite or a boss, I start to think of like MMORPGs. I'm sorry, I have a very creative mind, and so when you think about like elites and stuff, you guys probably don't understand the nature of a government or a military. Even if the military was outnumbered by like 20 to 1, we would get decimated in this time period. I'm trying to tell y'all the technology. When I see people still talking like that Robin Hood stuff, it's like it's cute. Everybody needs like I guess a spirit of strength or something at each time, but what I try to teach people is to just try to be peaceful, man, because I don't know who all see my videos, but when I think about humanity, it's just like unnecessary. The capitalism is good in a way because it gives people incentives to want to work, but it is also miserable. When I think about America and I put myself and I think about what like immigrants go through sometimes, of course they're gonna have to say and do certain things, especially if they're still trying to get in and get their visa and or get their citizenship because they're bound by laws and stuff and people that can control their lives. Well, I was thinking about it and in all honesty, these people and I'll see it in videos. They're like America, America, Coke, Pepsi. I mean like Coca Cola, Pepsi, cheeseburgers, McDonald's. They think like it's like a fairy tale land, but in actuality, you're not being shown the true nature of the reality of the situation. A lot of slavery ended bitterly, bitterly through force. People didn't just go, oh, we want it to be equal. It was forcefully ended. It's, I just get upset talking about certain things because the more aware I become in my adulthood and the more I learn and grow, it just kind of it's frustrating. But at the same time, that's my internal battle. And so I learn how to deal with it on a day-to-day basis. I learn how to try to, I when I hear people say certain things a lot of times now, like I just think like cope, they're coping. And like especially edge lords, they call edge lords edgy. I'm noticing it a lot more. Like I've always noticed it, but I don't even argue with people like that no more, especially if they don't have like profile pictures. But I mean, even when it comes to a profile picture, any those could be anything. I just like if a person has good character and they're cool. Like I was just hearing about all this stuff, Hulk Hogan and Brett Favre and all these people, like just all this racist stuff they be saying. It's like you can't, you know what I'm saying? If I let them get to me, I feel like they win. To be honest, two things happen. I told you I got this side that immediately laughs. It's like a ha 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 ha. Like you a clown, you mad, you for some reason wants to live in an old ancient institution. They're doing this thing where it's like if a black person, I'm sorry, if an African American or somebody of a different descent has a job, they call it DEI, and it's like make America the. I don't even because all of America is immigrants from somewhere for the most part. So I don't even know, man. But then the other side that's like, no, don't laugh because what they doing is causing a lot of stupidity and spreading wildfire. And it's like, man, but if that's the legacy people want to be known by, because where I'm at, a lot of people don't behave like that. Like I sent that video I shared with them Nazis with the black and red and screaming and hollering the megaphones. The police came and arrested them and ran them out of town. I was like, damn, they scared one too many women. Old girls on the front like they're screaming, and I'm trying to enjoy my walk in the man. The police was like, phew, got them up. He was like, I didn't do nothing. I didn't call nobody. Beep beep beep. They were saying Jew this and that and N word this and that. It's like what the. But hey, like I try to tell y'all, man. That's why I tell people to be loving, but be aware and safe. That's why I tell people when I talk about donating and different things, I don't just blindly tell people to go do certain things because you might get robbed. You never know what's going on. I just simply tell people to use your awareness. I've given money to people at certain times, but I'm thankful. You know what I mean? I'm protected by, you know, the universe. If I said when I started talking about acceptance earlier, the reason I brought that up is because no, from my perspective, I don't know what is religion, all that. Well, I don't. I just know what I'm fed, what people teach me, what I'm taught, what I read, what all that stuff. But for the most part, what I can tell y'all is that this is why I don't necessarily argue with people unless they're suggesting stupid stuff. You know what I mean? Because at this point, I'm starting to look at it like cheat codes. And when I say that, I mean like the science that we do have. Like the fact that we know about like different fuels being able to burn and create energy and having cars and houses and all that, to me it's like cheat codes for the universe. Different men was fucking around, they found out, and we started becoming more intellectual. Even with simpler things, farming, that's a wild invention. You know what I'm saying? It's survival, so, and shelter and everything else. So, just try to understand people. But if you don't like people, like I tell people, just stay out the way. Don't hate them, because then a part of hate is living in you. It's just simply be aware of their actions and be cool. Sorry, it's kind of chilly. My girl, she's like, that is one thing I can blatantly say. I've noticed in me being African American or whatever, in the land or whatever, that like a lot of the times I can like sunbathe and sit in the sun and it feels good. But in the winter time, oh my goodness, like I'm one of the people that gotta have the heat on like 75 plus. Oh my goodness. But her, with me being at work, she turned it off and sleeping with the covers on. And oh my goodness. So I'm about to cut that back on, actually. But look who it is. What's up? I'm teaching him commands and languages. I mean, I'm teaching him commands and phrases. He knows no. No means no. He keeps trying to climb on me, and it's cool, but for a female, another difference, a female, you guys have your thing, but for a dude, he's a jumper. He'll just come boom. It's like, and so I'm trying to teach him about awareness. And look, he'll huff and puff. Listen, watch. I don't know if you can hear it or not. When I tell him no, sometimes he'll sit there and just start huffing. Like he's spoiled. When I first got him, I dropped some crackles on the ground on accident. It was like some burger meat, and he tore it up. Now he won't eat nothing unless it's exquisite. Shrimp, a lobster or something, some roast beef. He's so spoiled. I don't feed him people food. It was an accident. So I promise you, I read the websites. No pastas, no they strictly meat without all the seasoning and stuff. I get them Friskies anyway. Turn to an advertisement bot. Anyways, the point is, try to understand people, try to be more patient with people to the best of your ability, because I'm not King Patience. So I'm not, all I can do is try to be an example and try to help people to the best of my ability. There's going to be elites and bull crap and stuff we got to deal with that don't seem to make sense. But somewhere out there, maybe it does make sense and we just don't see the bigger picture. What I tell people a lot of times, and what I've been saying, is education. The more educated you are, I talk about Khan Academy a lot, Khan Academy English. If you go to their playlist, they got all types of playlists, because if you go to their videos, there's like 8,000 videos, dude. It's all educational. You go to their playlist, and then they got a bunch of science, physics, mathematics. I mean, because you can learn what you want in life. But a lot of the cheat codes that a lot of these scientists, philosophers, physicists, and everybody else have unlocked are amazing. You know what I mean? So to call them all liars, if it's happening or working, I don't because to me, like, okay, this is what I don't understand. People will be like, it's a firmament or something like that, and all this blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, whatever it is, we still got all this other stuff down here. How do you explain that? Nobody ever goes past that. They'll just say, God. Okay, that's your belief. That's fine. But if I was to unlock more cheat codes and become smarter, a lot of times silly shows like Rick and Morty, I know it may seem vulgar, but it would get kids or different people, not kids, but people interested in more scientific things, I think. Because I thought I was done with science for a while, and I started watching Rick and Morty and started learning about all types of stuff, atomic chemicals and everything else. Not to say, I watch what I say before they be like, atomic chemicals, keywords. I'm talking about when dealing with science and the periodic table. Neil deGrasse Tyson said something recently. He was like, every time there's an eclipse, if the earth was flat, then the shadow would be flat when it crosses the moon and the sun. And it's always a circle. Always remember that. So from our perspective, it's a sphere. I don't care what it is. I still have to breathe and live. I'm just telling you all what education has educated me to educate. So stay aware, stay loving, stay peaceful, stay healthy, stay positive, and direct whatever is going on into more positive things. Play some chess, checkers, different things to help the mind stay stable. There's a lot of mobile games out there. There's games for everything. And there's a lot of contracts out there for a lot of different stuff. You know what I mean? I found out another dumb moment. I'm just going to let you all know. My voice box has been my voicemail was full for almost over a year. So I guess a whole bunch of people was trying to contact me for a job and couldn't even leave messages. So sometimes it can feel like something is happening, but when a person just sits back and calms down and just realizes that the parameters of the entire situation, then I call that awareness. Now I know that in a lighter is carbohydrate carbohydro chains, hydrogen bonds, um, which are atomic bonds. They're kind of called hydrogen bonds, and that's more of like a electromagnetic things. And that's why I believe gravity is electromagnetic, but we still got a long way to go, and we're still learning ourselves. So stay amazing and learn and grow.